ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भृगो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ओम गुरुदेव भगवान शिव शंकर भोलेनाथ कैलाशपति महाराज की जय। भगवान व्यास जी महाराज की जय। शंकराचार्य भगवान की जय। स्वामी चिन्मयानंद भगवान की जय। स्वामी दयानंद भगवान की जय। स्वामी प्रबुधानंद भगवान की जय। माता पिता की जय। सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय। स्वामी शुद्धानंद भगवान की जय। साध्वी आनंद ज्योति जी की जय। सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय। सभी गुरुओं की जय। सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय। सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता chapter 5 and verse number 19 we are going to see today. In verse number 20, yesterday we saw that people, the wise people who see Brahman everywhere and in everything, everywhere and in everything, who sees? Who are the wise people? Such wise people see. The wise people are ज्ञान निरुद्ध, निरुद्धता kalmasha are जीवन muktas. People who are liberated while living. They cannot be born again. When they die, they are Brahman, and Brahman don't come and go. They recognize, they understand themselves as Brahman. This we saw in verse number 18, 17, and in 18 we saw the people, such people see Brahman everywhere and in everything. They see Brahman in cow, they see Brahman in elephant, they see Brahman in dog, and even the dog eater, they see Brahman same. They have a sama drishti, sama atma, same No difference. Those who have this vision of sameness are free from birth and death. How are they free from birth and death? This we will see in verse number 19. First we will try to read this verse. Iha eva te jitah sargau yesham samye sthitam manah nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmani te stitah. Yesham, those, manah, mind, samye, in that which is the same in everything, in Brahma, sthitam, is rooted, itha iva, here itself, in this life, iha eva, in this life, taiha, by those wise people, sargaha, the cycle of birth and death, sansara, jitaha, is won over. He, because nirdosham, free from any defect, Brahman, samama, is the same, tasmat, therefore, they, Brahmani, in Brahman, sthitaha, abide. The cycle of birth and death, which is called the sansara, is won over here itself, in this life, by those whose mind is rooted in that which is same in everything, that is Brahman. Since Brahman is free from any defect, is always the same, they, the wise people, abide in Brahman. We have seen how those who have knowledge of Atma being Brahman are free from doership and enjoyership caused by the ignorance and error. Their self-ignorance and everything caused by it has been destroyed in the wake of knowledge. Their minds are awake. Their minds are awake to Atma, being Brahman, being free from any sense of limitation. They know they are free because for them the I is Brahman alone. There is no longer any doubt or error, and nothing more remains to be accomplished. Such people see Brahman in everyone and everything, from the most exalted to the lowliest. How? Because they know that there is only one Atma in all beings, and that Atma is their own one self. Their own self. Your own self, your own Atma is everywhere. There are no two Atmas. Your Atma is different and my Atma is different. No. This is the recognition. This is to be recognized that Atma is same. They know that Atma is not affected by anything that happens to the body, mind or senses. Whether it is the Atma of a respected Brahman or Atma of a Brahmana or Atma of a dog eater, it is same. Here Brahmana is the most respectful person, and dog eater the most disrespectful person. Atma of both the person is same. There is no difference. They are not two Atmas. Atma is one, whole, limitless, and is manifested in every intellect, just as there is one whole space present in every stomach. Just as you find the all-pervasive space wherever you go, so too is consciousness everywhere. Consciousness is not limited by time and space. Consciousness is always there in any place. All movements take place in consciousness. Atma is consciousness, and those who know this are samadarshis. They see same. They are samadarshis. They recognize Atma, that is the same in all beings. The mind has to be prepared for this. For this understanding, mind has to be ready. Preparation. The wise do not take Atma as a limited entity, knowing that it is all pervasive and unaffected. The body or the nature of even a dog eater does not affect Atma or anything the person does, but the ignorant do not recognize this fact. Those who are ignorant, those who have gone through the Shastras, doesn't recognize. They do not recognize this fact. If a wise person here to teach a dog eater, what would he teach him? Would he say, your Atma is impure because you have been eating dogs? Atma is ever pure. And so a wise person cannot make such a statement. All he can teach is Tatatvamasi, regardless of whether the listener is an angel, a god, or a dog eater. And how can one say Tatatvamasi unless the self happens to be Tata, the self of everything? Atma is the truth of everything. It is always the same. It does not undergo any change. This is why the wise can share his or her vision with anyone. The question, of course, remains whether the listener will be able to understand the teaching. He or she may require some polishing, for which he have various disciplines. First, the dog may be removed from the dog eater's diet. That is how you have to improve. First, the dog is removed from the dog eater's diet so that the person can become more sensitive, and it may be followed with other disciplines such as prayer. Only when the mind of the listener has been prepared can the knowledge take place. The mind has to be prepared, and prepared through Antakaran Shuddhi only. And that is slowly and steadily bringing them to disciplines of life, prayerful karmas. First they have to do right karma according to the dharma. Swamiji says कि you have to do everything for the knowledge, for recognizing yourself only. This is dharma. Doing anything for recognition of pure self, for recognition of Brahman, for recognizing the topic, only you do karma. You do karma only to reach the destination of recognizing the self. That is the only destination. Earning money is not the destination. Why do you need money? You need money so that you are not bothered with all the things which are bought through money. You don't have to bother about all those things which money buys. That is why you need money. So you work. That is why Swamiji says, when you pray, Ask him for everything you need. All the sadhanas, all the sadhans which I may require in recognizing the self. All my karmas should be towards the topic only. I should never be deviated from the topic of self-recognition, topic of knowing Brahman. That is the only topic to be understood. That is the karma. And all the things, all the karma done for this are dharma. And they should be done prayerfully so that mind get purified, antakaran shuddhi take place. None of the preparation being discussed here are to be purified Atma. It is only to prepare the person's mind to recognize that Atma has always been pure. Atma is not to be purified. There is no way. Because Atma was never impure. It is pure, absolutely pure. Whosoever is started thinking, even his Atma, even the worst person's Atma, dog-eater's Atma is absolutely pure. If he wants to recognize that, then he has to have that kind of mind. For that mind, he has to do all the karmas for antakaran shuddhi, for preparing mind for the right teaching. Nobody can teach Satya. Sat is already there. The only help can be done is to recognize that. Recognize that everything else is asat. And you recognize the sat. Sat is already there. Sat is not to be created. Brahman is already there. You don't have, no teacher has to create Brahman. Brahman is already there. The teacher has to come and say, there is nothing other than Brahman. Through a teaching, proper disciplined teaching, you will understand. You will understand that there is nothing other than Brahman. Whatever you see is asat. And whatever teacher tell you to see is sat. You have to recognize it is ever present. When you are not able to discover, then also it is there. When you think sarpa is there, it is only rajju there. वहां पर रस्सी है, सर्प नहीं है, चाहे आप उसे सर्प समझते रहें. कितना भी सर्प समझ लीजिए, कितना भी भयंकर सर्प समझिए, पर वहां सर्प नहीं है, रस्सी है, ये जानना है. ये सत्य है. ये सत्य जिस वक्त आप ये समझ रहे हैं कि ये भयंकर जहरीला सांप है, उस वक्त भी वो रज्जू ही है, सांप नहीं है. This understanding of myself, still thinking myself as a form, there is no form. While taking myself as a form, there is no form. Actually, there is only Brahman. That is why it is said, there is no purpose for such preparation. It is not preparation for Atma, but preparation for mind. nor does this preparation have anything to do with changing the cells of the person's physical body. The preparation has only to do with the person's mind. The mind has to be prepared, and that is all we try to do. That is all what Swamiji has been trying to tell us. Sat is ever present. Brahman is ever present. It is the right mind required to recognize the Sat. Another point that Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji clarifies in his introduction to this verse is that when Bhagavan says that the wise see same Atma in everyone, it does not mean that he treats everyone equality. People are different. All jivas are different. Suppose a person looks upon a Brahmana and a dog eater as equal, placing them on the same pedestal, so to speak. Can you say that such a person has a vision of the same Brahman in all? Not necessarily. The person may be ignorant, not wise. What needs to be understood here is that it is not that a wise do not perceive a dog eater as dog eater. Of course they do. What Bhagavan says here is that they recognize one Atma in everyone and everything. One self that is self and the truth of all. These are people being discussed in the verse. They are alone the Samdarshis referred to in previous verse. What needs to be understood here is that it is not that the wise person do not perceive a dog eater. The wise person take dog eater as dog eater. He is not doing right thing, not doing according to dharma. Eating dog is not according to dharma. It is to be understood. You cannot say a thief is right, since all his Atma and Atma of king is same, so he is right. No. This is to be understood. Here Jnani, here wise person recognizes only the Atma as same. The wise person only understands. A Jnani understands that Atma is same. The word Sarga means birth and implies the cycle of birth and death called Sansara. The life of becoming that the ignorant are caught up in. Seeing one Atma doesn't qualify ignorant as wise, knowledgeable. To understand the same Atma, one has to first recognize. He has to remove the ignorance. The Sansara is now Jita won over by the wise, which means that there is no future birth for them. The winning over take place while one is alive, in this body, in this life, at this time, right now, here, iha, eva. These people have gained a victory over this life of becoming through knowledge, thereby proving that such a victory is indeed possible. It is possible to understand Brahman. Bhagavan describes the mind of those who gain this victory as sthita, being established or steady in what which has sameness, samye, that which does not undergo any change whatsoever, is Brahman. Atma is consciousness, free from attributes. Not being subject to time, Brahman undergoes no change whatsoever. Brahman has no qualities, and therefore there is nothing that can undergo change. For example, a substance has its own peculiar attribute. By adding or taking away the attribute, the substance undergo a change. Even if the substance is left alone, in the course of time its attribute undergo changes. Thus it always undergo a change. That which does not undergo any change whatsoever is Atma, which is Brahman. Even space disappear in sleep, but not Brahman. Brahman is there in the sleep also. But being subject to change, there is no death for the Atma. Atma neither dies nor does it cause anything to die. Death is only for a substance that obtains within time. There is no death of Atma. Death is only for the substance. This body will die, not the Atma. Atma is Brahman. If you analyze Atma, it is only Chaitanya, consciousness. Atma is Chaitanya, the consciousness. The analysis itself is possible because of your being conscious of your mind, senses, body, this world and other people, with reference to which you take yourself to be separate entity, which is not true. In fact, anything you objectify is Anatma. Atma is the only one that is self-evident. Atma doesn't require any pramana. Atma is self-evident because it is you, the being, the consciousness. You, the consciousness. It is self-evident. Everything else require pramana. Only Atma doesn't require any pramana. Atma is Swatah Siddha. You require pramanas only to objectify Anatma. Even time is evident to the self-evident Atma. Even time is evident to the Atma. Your consciousness, because of your consciousness you see time, which begins and end, which begins and end. You are not in time. You means your consciousness, Atma, is not in time. You are not in time. Time is in you, the consciousness, the Brahman. The time is in Brahman. Brahman is not in time. Time does not objectify consciousness. It is your consciousness. There is the concept of time. This concept of time is in consciousness. Consciousness is not in time. Everything other than Atma, being totally dependent upon Atma for its existence, is mithya. And Atma that is self-existent is Satya. The truth of everything. Not being bound by the time. Satya Atma is not subject to change or death. It always remains the same. Therefore, in this verse, Atma is called Samya, Samana, meaning that self is in everything. Self is in everything, Atma, and yet is not affected by Punya Papa or qualify of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. It is not affected by Punya Papa. Atma is not even affected by Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, any gunas. It is not affected by anything. Atma is not affected by anything. Not even time. Time is in Atma. Time is in me. I am not in time. When I say I, it doesn't imply on this body. I, the Brahman. I, the Brahma, is not in time. I don't die. I was never born, nor I will die. This form came in me. This form will leave. I took up this form. I leave this form. From whom is Samya the Atma? Certainly not for the one who is affected. For whom is this Samya? Same. For whom the Atma is same. Certainly not for those who are affected. Suppose you take yourself as one who possesses good qualities of Brahmana. Can you sit aside beside a dog eater and watch him eat? Even if the food is nicely served and the table beautifully decorated with flowers and so on? Of course not. Being a humble Brahman, you will surely shrink and won't want to leave immediately. If you sit with a person who is eating meat, you will feel, you will try to shrink. You won't like it. If you are Atma that enjoys the attributes of scholarship and so on, and another Atma has the attribute of ignorance and error, then definitely each Atma is different. But the wise people, Pandita, Samdarshi, have the vision of the self that is same in all, unaffected by anything and everything that happens to be done by everyone. For a Jnani, Atma is same. But for a Jnani, he will question, sir, I can't sit in with the person eating meat near me. I can't see person killing, a butcher killing only Jnani sees the same Atma. Person may be different, but Atma is same. This is to be understood. Moksha is not after death. For those whose minds are awake to this Atma, samsara, the life of becoming, is no more, even while they are alive. Here, iha, in this body, it means that moksha, freedom, is not after death. How can knowledge of Atma happen after death? This is a big recognition we are going to do. How can knowledge of Atma happen after death? All you do after death is travel. If you spend your life meditating on Brahman as a cause of everything, praying to that Brahman and so on, without understanding that you are Brahman, then you may go to Brahmaloka, the heaven considered to be the greatest of all the heavens. If you keep on reciting the shlokas without understanding them, keep on praying to the Brahman, Hey Bhagwan, until you recognize it. If you don't recognize yourself as Brahman, then your prayers, your good deeds will lead you to good lokas. Again, Asat, Anatma, Brahma Loka. You may go to Brahma Loka even. Please do not ask me if there is a Brahma Loka. I cannot prove. This is Swamiji saying. Please don't ask me if there is a Brahma Loka. I cannot prove that there is a Brahma. There is, and you cannot prove that there is not. Therefore, let us simply assume that there is Brahma Loka, and that you, having lived a life of devotion to Ishvara, will go there and live with Brahmaji for some time. There you will enjoy peace and whatever happiness Brahma Loka has to offer. Eventually, Brahmaji may even decide to teach you. What will he teach? He can teach only Tatattvamasi. Tatattvamasi. You are the Brahman. Exactly what you were taught before when you were here in this life. This is what the entire Shastra is teaching. But you want to still keep on. You should keep on doing your rituals. But then please understand the rituals. Please understand the Shastras. Please understand yourself. That is the aim. That is the only purpose of Jiva. Now there in Brahma Loka, Brahmaji is teaching you and you understand, you are liberated by the knowledge. And when does this liberation take place? Only now. Always now. It will take place only now. There is no after death moksha. If there is survival after death, there is only travel, not moksha. Moksha gained by being taught by Brahmaji is also not after death moksha. Moksha is not an event in time. It is an accomplished fact. Atma is ever mukta, liberated. If bondage were real, even God would not remove it because it would be a reality. God's own reality. Nor can God remove a bondage that is false because it is not there. How can God remove snake? There is no snake. How can God remove a snake which is not there? You can keep on praying, God, I am afraid. I'm dying of the fear. Remove the snake, but even God cannot remove the snake. Because snake is not there. No one can remove something that does not exist. Not even God. God can only teach and make you understand that there is no bondage. God, please free me from this bondage. Are bhaiya, there is no bondage. No bondage at all. Unnecessarily you are afraid, worried. And living in a jnana of bondage. Living in ignorance. Atma is sinless. Atma is pure. Krishna also describes Samam Brahma in this verse as Nirdosham. Dosha means defect or blemish. Blemish means a mark. Blemish. Ultimately, any attribute or quality is a dosha. Any attribute, any quality. Bhagavan बहुत सुंदर है. Sundarta is a quality. And quality is a dosha. Atma is pure from, it is not. There is no quality. And it exists because it can only belong to a substance. All attributes and qualities belong to a substance. Substance is always anitya, non-eternal. Therefore, nirdosha means free from any defect, from any attribute such as mortality, division, and so on. For those people who do not know the true nature of Atma, Atma is taken to have attributes, defects, such as dog eating and so on. When you say that a dog eater is a sinner, what do you mean? A sinner means one who has committed sins, and therefore the sin are sticking to that person. Who is that person? Who is this person? Is the physical body a sinner? Are the sense or the mind the sinner? The body itself cannot perform any action, and therefore it cannot be taken as sinner. The senses are only instruments. They are not sinners either. Similarly, the mind is not a sinner. It is too an instrument, a means. Who then is the sinner? Atma is the sinner. When you condemn a person as a sinner, you are condemning Atma as the sinner. Because you look upon Atma as one who possesses attributes or defect. Because you look upon Atma as that. Then anything you do through sticks to the Atma. Anything you do sticks to the Atma. And Atma is taken as doshavan, defective. It means that Atma is already doshavan and keeps gathering more doshas. Atma is equivalent to a substance like any other substance which is nucleus and attracts varieties, seen and unseen result in the form of punya and papa. All of this sticks to Atma for those who are deluded, who do not know that Atma is always pure. It is only for those who don't understand, those who don't take Atma as pure, who don't take Atma as the non-doer. Those who don't know that Atma is always pure and therefore never affected by punya papa, Atma is not affected in any way whatsoever by dosha you impute on it. Since Brahman, which is Atma, is nirdosha, it is sama, always the same, even when the self is taken to be a sinner and so on. Sama means eka, one. Brahman does not undergo any change. It is always one, the same. And in Brahman alone the wise people ever remain rooted. Samya Brahmani sthitaha. They remain rooted because they are Brahman. Atma being Brahman. Brahmani te sthitaha means that the wise are not separate from Brahman. They cannot, because they are not different. Two different things can be separated. How will you separate one thing? Previously, due to aviveka, lack of discrimination, not knowing the true nature of Atma, they thought Atma was subject to punya and papa, meaning subject to defect, dosha. Therefore, everyone appeared different. I have my own punya papa and you have yours. Each one comes with his or her baggage, collects additional baggage and leave the world taking only subtle baggage with him or her, just as one throw away useless baggage and take only what is important, and subtle baggage called punya and papa is carried to the next birth. Even if you do not want to, you have to carry your punya papa baggage with you, because it is the law. As long as you look upon yourself as a receptacle for punya and papa, assuming doership, there will be this connection with the karma. When there is the notion I am the doer, due to a viveka, you are bound. By viveka, you come to recognize that self is Brahman now and always. Such people are Brahman and there is no question of rebirth. They never return. Gacchati punaravrittam. To remain in Brahman means they are Brahman. Therefore, there is no question of their taking another birth. Atma is not born and does not die. You may say here that while it is very pleasant to think of yourself as eternal, you do not like the idea of not coming back. It is because you want to survive, which is very mortal's desire, every mortal's desire. Survival being the original instinct, no one wants death, and so one thinks he or she has to survive. I want to survive is part of the original problem. If you want to survive here, naturally you also want to survive after death. The scriptures say that you will survive a point that you are very much interested in. And if you are told that after realizing Brahman, you will again come back, that you will be born with this self-knowledge and you will enjoy this world, that too is very interesting. Or if you are told that after gaining this knowledge, you will have increasing layer of happiness, you can enjoy that possibility. Perhaps you will have different type of body, X-ray eyes, better ears and so on. If you are told all this and similar things, you will definitely find it interesting. The problem here is that you think you are imperfect. I am imperfect is the conclusion you have made, and because of that there is a love for getting something later. This is the problem of sansari. Therefore they say, Swamiji, I do not like the idea of not coming back. I want to return. For the sansari, I can definitely say, do not worry, you will come back. Who told you you will not be reborn? Just do not ask me how you will be born, because there are so many possibilities. You may be born as an angel or as in cockroach, but definitely you will return. Whereas for the wise, no such thing happens. The wise person, the jnani, no such thing happens. Knowing they are Brahman, the wise are established in Brahman. When one is established in Brahman, Brahmani sthita, meaning they are not non-separate from Brahman, there is no cause for fear. Once understood the oneness with the Brahman, there is no return, because there is no going even. न जाना है न आना है, ब्रह्म में स्थित है, ब्रह्म स्थित है. The original fear is the fear of death, but Atma, the self, just is. It is not born and it does not die. The problem is that you think you are subject to mortality, imperfections and attributes. That you are subject to dosha is the original problem. As long as you think I, the Atma, has attributes or defects, there are problems. Atma being subject to time is a dosha. Atma being subject to imperfection is dosha. Atma being subject to sorrow is dosha. Atma being subject to limitation is dosha. Atma being subject to birth and death is dosha. Atma being subject to punya papa, doership and enjoyership is dosha. As long as you look upon Atma as Doshwan, there is no way of getting rid of the dosha. Even if you remove one dosha, another will come. You have to understand Atma as pure, Atma as non-doer, akartha. It is not Atma who does. It will take time. You need pure, perfect mind which is ready for this knowledge. The mind which is still busy in the objects will not understand this. Because there is nothing, no objectification. There is no object of like and dislike here. Likes and dislikes are understood and they go. There is nothing to be afraid of. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna makes it very clear here that because Atma is nirdosha, free from defect, it is Sama, same Brahman. Knowing this, the wise are Brahman. There is no Jiva left anymore to come back. Remaining in Brahman, they have won over the cycle of birth and death. That is moksha, liberation. They are liberated right now. After the death of the present body, there is no coming back. Does this mean they completely disappear? They cannot disappear because what exists is Satya Atma alone. What disappear is the false. क्या सांप बिल्कुल गायब हो जाएगा? अरे भाई, ये समझना है कि सांप है ही नहीं. गायब तो वो होगा जो है, जो था वो गायब थोड़ी होगा. जो सत्य है वो गायब कैसे होगा? Satya Atma alone is, Rajju is. What disappears is the false and the truth alone remains. Atma is Satya Brahma and Brahma is Ishvara, the cause of the world. You are Brahman and as Ishvara you are Jagat Karana. All there is Ishvara. All there is Ishvara. There is being no other entity. That is the truth. ये सच्चाई है. There is nothing other than Ishvara. And you are not seeing Ishvara. What you are seeing is the objects only. And objects are not Ishvara. You are Ishvara. You are Ishvara even now. Who says you are not? Tat Tattvamasi means you are Ishvara. From the standpoint of the self Atma is Ishvara. When what is Ishvara. Is Ishvara, you do not lose anything by being Ishvara. There is no birth and death. What then is there is to be afraid of? There is nothing to be afraid of. How a wise person would respond to situations? After gaining knowledge, there are situations. And how a wise person reacts to respond to these situations. In next verse number 20, we'll see all these. For today, it's enough understanding yourself as Ishvara. Om Tat Sat. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरि ओम तत्सत्। ओम गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम।